What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and boy, we have a lot to talk about. This was quite the fiery week for Hogwarts Legacy. Big, gigantic week from Gotham Knights. You know, the kind of two tent poles of the channel. Gamescom 2022 obviously was something. It definitely existed, that's for sure. And yeah, I want to add Ezra Miller. I just tweeted it. Actually, let me make sure I just tweeted it. I want to add him to the docket because obviously we just heard the stuff online about Ezra going to the WB, plot of land and talking to the executives. So I definitely want to discuss Ezra as well, and maybe we can start there. What's going on? Hello. Obviously, as always, if there's things you guys want to specifically talk about, you can definitely let me know. But those are kind of the central Gotham Knights. I want to talk about Harley once more. Hogwarts, we got to talk about the week that was, Gamescom, and then the Ezra Miller stuff, and anything else that comes up. Destroy All Humans 2, I couldn't fit it into the title, okay? But Destroy All Humans 2, I have it. I've been playing it. I'm reviewing it. It'll be up for tomorrow. I got an early code, and I saw the reviews of it today, and they weren't good on it, and I don't agree with the reviews, actually, at all. So if you want to talk about Destroy All Humans 2, we can do that as well, and I'll constantly be throwing those topics out throughout the stream, and we'll go from there. Also, big Hogwarts Legacy thing. Shoot, I can't spoil what. On Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to announce it, the big get-together of different creators. I have the list. We'll have the thumbnail, all that stuff, so that'll be coming Monday or Tuesday, and that's going to be awesome because it's easily the biggest grouping that we've ever had of Hogwarts Legacy creators on the internet. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm going to throw them under the bus, though. It took these fools quite a while to get back to me. Some of them took a lot longer than others, but I won't name names. No, they're all incredible people, the other Hogwarts Legacy creators, and they've done an incredible job. And we've really all built up this community together, and we're not done. We're not done. It's just getting started. But how is everybody doing? We also technically have Scream 2 is coming back to theaters. In case anybody cares about Scream 2, that's coming for the 25th anniversary in October. So that was another news story that happened just before this. How's your day been so far? I hope it's good, but do you mind if I ask you a question? Yeah, anybody can ask me anything here. I try to read in these kind of hangout live streams. I try to read everything. A super chat I would try to get to like immediately. But in these live streams, I just kind of read the comments, and you guys get to give me the quizzes. I'm having a good day. I actually had a doctor's appointment, the 1 year checkup. I got blood drawn. I'm afraid of needles, so I always despise that part. Always. So I've been, it wasn't the greatest day, to be honest with you. It could have been better if I didn't have to do that. But, when you're a grown-up and your wife makes you go to the doctors, you listen to your wife and you go to the doctors. What else are you going to do? Final housekeeping thing. Make sure you guys are just leaving a like. Likes obviously help live streams in the moment, sends it out to more people. Likes also help the video afterwards. Or when you guys are watching it, if people are watching it in the replay, just hit the like real fast, and that goes a long way. Hello. You guys rock, by the way. Do you think there'll be anything for Hogwarts Legacy on Back to Hogwarts Day? I do. I was considering potentially live streaming that day because I do think it could be a relatively okay day in terms of size. We know they're going to do something. Thursdays are obviously when they do their Twitter posts, but that doesn't mean they can't do the Twitter post and something else. In fact, we know they're going to be a part of Return to Hogwarts Day. Did I make a video on that? Because they said they're going. Do you think there'll be anything for Shoot, I guess maybe I never covered that. I tweeted it, but that doesn't mean anything. I tweeted it, but they are going to do something. I think they said it wasn't like an exclusive look or anything. It was like there's going to be news. I imagine a safe bet would be really to hammer out when the making of the art book would really make sense to nail a date down, because that book is supposed to come out in December. There's no way. The making of the art book of Hogwarts Legacy cannot release 2 months before the game because it will spoil things. It absolutely will. It may not spoil the ending of the game, but it absolutely will spoil something. Obviously people would find it. It would spoil something about the game. So they got to fix that. And I mean, that's like a small, it's like a smaller tier announcement. It's nothing too gigantic, but it's something, of course, you could, do. What's your favorite uncle go for a nice YouTuber? What? What? I don't have any uncles that are on YouTube, shockingly. Scarlett, what's up? People are so ungrateful and they always complain they're never happy. I mean, well, debatable. Depends on what you're complaining about, I think. The Hogwarts thing was funny. I complained about it on Twitter because it's like what you find, obviously, online is that you can never win. If you're going into the YouTube or Twitter game or expecting to win, you never will. In the Hogwarts Legacy video 2 days ago, I thought I was very fair while also being very critical. And there were people not happy that I was saying my mind critically about the game. And I literally had a comment, no joke. I'm not kidding. It was like 5 comments apart. It was a comment, a couple other comments, another comment. And one person said that they don't really understand why I'm being so negative. I'm being way too negative. And the other person called me out because I was being too nice to the studio and giving them too much slack. And so that really, to me, I've been around a while, and so like I know that you can't really win. But that was really just a good, like the only thing that could have been better is if they were like back-to-back comments. Like one said, you're being way too nice, and one said you're being way too mean. That's pretty much what it was, but it was separated. Nothing really says the internet more than that. You know what I mean? And so it's like I'm not going to try to win. I play it the way that I play it. I think I'm fair. I see both sides. I will criticize when I feel like it's necessary. I will throw compliments when I think it's necessary. And I'm not really going to apologize for how I do because you can't win. And when you have people literally that take your words and either think that you're being too mean or you're being too nice, 2 different people think that, what am I supposed to do? Like, so in terms of complaint, and it's the same thing. I mean, I've seen that for like Gotham Knights. The Harley Quinn boss fight, there are problems with it. I think there's honestly problems with it, and I said that. And what's funny is, again, and you look in the comments of that video, there are people picking out some of the negatives. And then other people are saying, what negatives? The entire video was so good. But yet other people are picking out the negatives, so there are obviously negatives. You know what I mean? Again, you can't win. You just have to say, and this is like advice, if you guys ever want to start a YouTube channel, just say what you feel. If you feel like there's something to criticize, but you also want to praise something, do it. Be yourself and just say it because, again, you're going to have people like that. I would criticize part of Gotham Knights, and people agreed and said, yeah, there's some issues here. And then some people said, well, there's nothing to complain about. The video was perfect. It's a perfect gameplay presentation against Harley. All right, you may see it that way, but not everybody else does, right? It's like, so it's very funny. It's very funny. Hello. Oh, I already read that. Who's your favorite Gotham Knights YouTuber? Oh, well, there's really not many people that just cover Gotham Knights. Degenerate Jay, is a friend of mine, and he covers Gotham Knights, but he's not a Gotham Knights YouTuber. So can he count? If he doesn't count, I don't know. I really don't have any. I really don't have. I like Irjin. I like VG Fight School. We're doing a video soon. I don't watch many other people's Gotham Knights content. It's not something I really do. Could we see James Potter parent or grandparents in it? I wonder if we'll get any connection to Harry, because I feel like that kind of takes away from everything else if you have that. So we'll see. I would say no. Alex, what up, man? Hope all is well. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Tommy. Do you think there will be different endings to Hogwarts? No. I've said it before. My opinion on Hogwarts is I believe that you'll be able to, well, okay, like in a way, yes, there'll be 2 different choices at the end of Hogwarts Legacy, good or bad. In fact, the way Chandler and the morality system and all that stuff, the way they've described it, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a choice at the end of the game that you pick that lead to 2 outcomes. The thing is, and I've said this, the story needs to end the same way no matter what you choose, or it needs to be generally the same way, right? Because you can't break lore, and if you wanted to do a sequel going in 2 very distinctly different directions, never really works. It didn't work for Life is Strange 1. You kind of had to abandon it. It didn't work for Infamous 2. It really doesn't work for almost anything. I can't really, you know what I mean? So a game that wants more than just the game, a game that's adhering to the lore, you need to be very careful with how you end it, right? While also giving freedom. It's a tough spot to be in. It's a tough spot to be in. Do you know that there is a small Gotham Knights YouTuber has been live streaming about you for the last several days? He said he'll stop streaming about you once you comment on his live stream. Who's the small Gotham Knights YouTuber? I didn't know that. I don't know about much, though. I have, like, the YouTube channels I go to and not much else. Unless they tag me on Twitter, in which case I don't really check Twitter mentions. And it's been so much Hogwarts Legacy stuff the last 4 days, I don't even think I would have seen something, you know. Hey, frustrated player. Some of your guys' names, it's a very diverse crowd. There's a lot of different names. I like the pictures. Scarlet Girl, I like that picture. Frustrated player, I like that. There's a lot of good pictures here. What edition are you getting? It's probably going to be the digital deluxe for Hogwarts. That's probably my plan. You think Hogwarts Legacy will be long like The Witcher 3 or Dragon Age, or a 20-hour game? I think the story itself will be 25-ish hours. The main story, if you just do the main quest, I think will be like 25 hours. That's where I stand on that. I love your channel for how honest you are. You call it right down the middle. But here's the thing. That's true. Like, I don't really see it that way. I see it that I am aware of two different sides of a lot of these arguments that I do think a lot of other people don't say. So when you talk about like The Last of Us Part 2, it's easy to just say, and I always go back to this game because it's the easiest example. It's easy to say with The Last of Us Part 2 that like everyone should love it. But you have to remember too about like the people that didn't, and I do fall in the people that didn't like the story. But if you're in the group that says like everyone hates The Last of Us Part 2, you have to remember, no, not everybody does. In fact, there's many people that like it. So that's how I see it. I don't really think I play it like safe in the way that I just go like, and I tiptoe the line and I don't go one way or the other. I don't think I do that, actually. I think I give my opinion, but I'm aware of what the other side is, but I'm still going to stick to what I say. That's how I see it. Maybe that's not how it comes off, and that's more, if I don't come off that way, that's my fault. So I would own up to that. GameStop pre-orders in-store. Has any news broke about that? No, GameStop seems like hell on earth in terms of like the Hogwarts Legacy stuff. I don't recommend. I mean, I know GameStop is like the place. Does Best Buy have it? I would say go to Best Buy before GameStop. GameStop seems to be all over the place. I've had people tell me that they like, did I see some, or did somebody tell me, or did I see it? Somebody asked about, no, I think somebody told me. I think somebody told me that they called GameStop, asked about the collector's edition, and their GameStop didn't even know there was a collector's edition. So some of that I think falls on GameStop, but also some of it I think continues to fall on Avalanche and Warner Bros. Games, and really bad communication. So yeah. Quick ask, now that we have even more people, quickly just leave a like if you guys are liking the stuff, both now or in the replay. Helps the live stream out quite a bit. It's free. All you have to do is tap the button. Alex needs to give Ezra a break. He is remorseful for, I can't say the word, Tyler, you know that, but I will acknowledge the G word, a 13-year-old by telling her he can. My God. If only we could say certain things, right, on YouTube, man. Oh, boy. Nah, Ezra needs to be punished. You can do all the stuff that Ezra is doing right now, and I could be fine with it if Ezra is being punished, but I mean that's not happening. And you know what's more frustrating about Ezra Miller? The stuff that's on these articles, right? Is that, well, one of the quotes was that Ezra wasn't really fazed by the negative headlines out about him during this time, but I know it's hard to say it every time. But Ezra, I always try to just say Ezra because I just think that's probably better. But Ezra was spooked when there was the talk of The Flash being canceled. And it's like, all right, so you don't really care if people are talking negatively about you. Maybe you actually like it. You don't need to get help when you see those negative articles. But as soon as you hear that your big blockbuster film is in danger of being canceled, that's when you go seek help. That doesn't really seem like you want help. It seems like you're almost being forced into it, or you're doing it for like ulterior motives, which You should do it because you want to do it, right? If you have a mental situation, which Ezra clearly does, you should want to get help for yourself. If you're doing it any other way, you don't actually want it. So it's not going to work. Ultimately, I would believe that. I'd say statistically it would probably be shown. It wouldn't actually work. So we'll see what happens. What do you think of Gotham Knights? For me, it leaves much to be desired. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, Gotham Knights, I don't know why I keep rubbing my nose. Maybe the doctors gave me something. Like, Gotham Knights is just one of the most divisive games I've ever seen. And I think it's also divisive because it's such a big crowd, right? DC is a big group. The people that would be into, like, the Batman Arkham scene or Gotham Knights, it's a big group. And even people that aren't into Gotham Knights but want, like, an Arkham game or Batman or whatever, it's a huge group. So there's, like, infighting between all of it, right? Again, there's, like, the stuff that I've said. In my videos, I feel like I've attracted kind of people that just say, nope, I'm not into it at all, but I'll watch the video, or they really like the game. But even so, like, you know, I'll criticize the Harley boss fight while also saying a lot of good stuff about it. By the way, I overall liked it. And they'll be fighting saying, you know, it was trash, or it was pretty good, but there are some flaws, or it's perfect. It was a perfect thing. And then you also have people, I get messages like every day on Twitter that just say, like, Gotham Knights looks awful. I get that. Or like, well, I understand that. And I also literally receive that. You know what I mean? It's nuts. So even though there's the fighting of, well, is the game going to be okay? Or is it a good game? Or is it an amazing game? Right? There's also a group of people that just say, like, it looks bad. It looks flat out bad, and I'm not into it. And again, I'm not even trying to say, like, I want to win that kind of, I'm trying to win against all of them because you can't really, but, you know, it's just like, would I have done this? Probably not. Would I have made Gotham Knights? Probably not. Am I giving it a chance? Yes. Do I think it's improved and it looks better now than it did, you know, years ago? Yes. I think the game, I am more excited for the game now than ever before, including when it was first announced, because I wasn't really happy with it. What's going on? Not much. What about you? How do you say your name? Kayla Tara? I feel like that was okay, right? Are you watching Ring of Power? My wife and I are afraid they might mess up the lore. Yeah, I'm pretty afraid they'll mess up the lore. But I also don't know that much about Lord of the Rings. So I don't really have what's the word? Like, I don't have a stake in it. You know what I mean? So I probably would watch it, but How many Soulsborne games have you played and your favorite one? I've played all of, well, From Software games, I've played all of them, I think, from Demon Souls. But I didn't play them long, like, at all. So my favorite one would probably be Elden Ring, and then Bloodborne. Bloodborne and then Demon Souls would be 3. That's probably what I would do. So yeah. Ezra as a blank and blank owner with charges against him for multiple acts of assault and blank should have the same opportunities as you and me. Yeah, equality. Did I see It's Well's question? Yeah, I had to have. Right? I don't know who the small streamer is. You have to, like, tell me who the small streamer is. Are they talking smack about me? Or are they... Who has been streaming about you for the last several days. He said he'll stop once you comment on his live stream. I mean, if he's talking good things about me, why would I want to stop the stream? If he's talking bad things about me, why would I want to give that person attention? It's a catch-22. I hate catch-22s. You know what I mean? As a small YouTuber that kind of needs your help. I help lots of people. No, I mean, in reality, not to stroke my own ego, but I have had, in the last year or so, multiple people creating channels that'll message me on Twitter, and I will give them the full time of day. And you can always do that if you want kind of like starting up tips on YouTube. I don't know if you want my advice. You could debate if I'm worth with my channel. I'm sure there's other people that are better. But I've had people come to me and ask, you know, what do I do? What would be your advice and tips of starting? And I've wrote essays to these people. So I feel like I try to, and I have receipts to prove it. So I feel like I'm pretty okay. If a blank beater. Can't still can't still be an after. This isn't the kind an actor. I assume this isn't the kind of world I want to be in. Yeah, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to see the Flash at this point, right? And no one is talking about the Xbox Series X not having the Thestral mount. It doesn't have the Thestral mount? Really? I thought it does. That's not a PlayStation exclusive thing, is it? And someone's been making. Okay. Z works fine. Oh. Did somebody already say that? Do I seem stupid now? Well, let me go look. Can I find them? How long have they been doing this? Should I listen to it?
Do it. All right. Yes. Yes. What? What happened? Yo, bro. Okay. Yeah. Open the door. Here we go. Yes. What are y'all screaming yes for?
I'm gonna do it then. There. I'm a little busy, but I'm honored that anybody would do anything like that. I don't really think that's really necessary. Do they like me? Like, is this supposed to be? Oh, they did it for VG Fight School, and then they did it for me, right? Oh, then they did it for Salvage, and they did it for me. Am I the longest one? I feel like I don't get him very many views. I feel like I'm the longest one. I feel like he's gone on longer. I'm sorry. Z works fine if he knows who I am. Tell him I'm sorry, or you tell him I'm sorry. Well, that was fun. People were talking about the Battle of Hogwarts, which if it is another war doesn't make sense because there's only one and it's in 98. Unless they do something where they like wipe people's minds. Also, is that actually true? Yo. Do you think Hogwarts Legacy will be the game of the year? Oh, boy. Well, 2023. Yeah. 2020. Well, okay. 2023 has Spider-Man 2 and Hogwarts Legacy and Starfield and maybe like one. Oh, and Breath of the Wild 2. I honestly feel like it's going to almost be like one of every company. Does that make sense? Where it's like Sony's going to have their big gun in Spider-Man 2. Xbox will have Starfield if it lands, and I just give it a little bit more, uncertainty because it's Bethesda. And then Nintendo would have Breath of the Wild, which should, be up there. And then Warner Bros. Would have Hogwarts. Obviously, there's others like EA and Ubisoft and stuff. There'll probably be a new Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, I feel like Hogwarts has a pretty good shot. Do you think we'll be able to tame dragons? Dragons I could see at the very, very end. Yeah. If you had to choose one, Hogwarts Legacy or Gotham Knights, easily Hogwarts. Easily. I mean, I just think Hogwarts is going to be a lot better. And that maybe is tough, but yeah. It'll be long main story, many side quests like Skyrim. Oh, I don't know if it'll be as long as Skyrim. I wouldn't go expecting Skyrim. Has anyone heard anything about the in-store pre-orders or collector's editions at GameStop? I've only heard about the collector's editions, which is pretty much that they're non-available. I hate The Last of Us Part 2 because they killed Joel. That's fair. Oh, I did. Oh, okay. I'm glad he actually liked me. See, I don't know. I didn't know. I've had small Gotham Knights streamers hate me before, so I have to approach everything. I approach everything with a healthy dose of skepticism because I know I'm not all that likable. I know that the Gotham Knights Reddit community doesn't like me. The Discord community is kind of mixed, and there has been small Gotham Knights creators that do not like me at all. So I can't assume that people like me immediately. I'm too controversial. I've been following you for 2 years now. I found you when Gotham Knights started, dropping all the detective missions to solve. Keep it up, man. I enjoy your content. Thank you. Yeah, I think back to that era. Remember that era? It was it was the middle of August, right? Because DC Fandom was August 20th or the 22nd. It was one of those days. So it was like that week before the late teens of August. Every day there was that little teaser, and everybody kind of did their detective work. That was a lot of fun. I remember sitting there every morning just like waiting for it. That was a lot of fun. Hey, Alex, hope your day has been going well. Oh, okay. Yes, I did. Thank you, the Shogun. Thank you all 4 of you that have been telling me. I'm not trying to ignore you. I appreciate you letting me know, and I appreciate him for doing it. I wonder if we will get a map of the game like we get in GTA. Oh, yeah, a map was honestly another major miss of Hogwarts Legacy. If they gave like a Marauders map-like thing for it, as well as an acceptance letter in that collector's edition, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. So that was a big missed opportunity. Keep saying it's a placeholder, but it hasn't been added. Yeah, it's a little... I don't think GameStop really has it all under control right now. Did you see the latest Hogwarts Legacy promo? That's buy and for PlayStation, but they had PS and Xbox cases at the end. Pretty weird knowing the exclusive stuff. Yeah. Sometimes, too, like, you know, when they're on, like, the PlayStation channel and has the PlayStation logo in the beginning, that can confuse people into thinking, like, it's just, even though it's just PlayStation's version of the trailer, and then Xbox also has a version. But sometimes Xbox, I've looked, Xbox doesn't really do it all that often. Like, if Sony has a trailer and Xbox has a trailer, Xbox sometimes doesn't do it. Or if they do, their trailers are normally viewed less in terms of the same game. I'm not talking about Xbox exclusives. Quick note. My wife and my daughter are about to walk in, so my dogs are gonna bark for like 20 seconds, but then they should stop. So, yeah. The way they advertised Last of Us Part 2 is as if we were gonna play and team up with Joel. Yeah, there was deception with The Last of Us Part 2. 100%. I called my GameStop. They didn't know about the collector's edition. See, were you the one who told me that, Zach? I'm a Miller. He's making us look bad. Oh, my God. Greg Miller, you, Ryan Miller, formerly of the Sabres. It's a PR move and oh, yeah. I don't think everybody knows it. It definitely, the Ezra Miller stuff is 100% a PR move, but I don't know if everybody knows it. I think there's some loose screws in people's heads. You know what I mean? So, oh, my God. My dog was trying to jump around. Well, I did promise barking. Tyler, did you also see, or actually anybody, did you see that Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, the final part of Kingdom Hearts, for those that like to be bogged down in mobile expansions that are more important sometimes than the actual story of Kingdom Hearts, it dropped today, and we learned some big stuff from it, so that's fun. It would be cool if Rockstar Company jumped in and helped with Hogwarts Legacy. I don't really, well, I think they're kind of busy. I think we'll do dragons, tame them / ride them at the end. I think we'll be able to. I don't think they're going to do that like early on. I bet they'll have another companion trailer, maybe even reveal the Ravenclaw friend for the Return to Hogwarts Day. That'd be pretty sweet. I'd like that. After watching Rick and Morty, I wouldn't want to tame a dragon. Tara equals Tara is my sister's name. Oh, nice. Z works fine as the... Okay, I caught up there. I caught up. No, he's a fan. He loves you. Good. I love it when people love me. I'm very selfish in that way. Just watched your Hogwarts Legacy morality video. I 100% agree. I worry that consequences won't transfer from one story image to the next. Yeah, let me talk about that because I saw comments on it. I just think people are kind of confused. So, all right, let's talk about the morality of Hogwarts Legacy. The way I believe it's going to go is just everything is separate from the next thing. Now, some people think it's going to be like Telltale, where they say, like, this will remember you, or like this person will remember this decision. I don't think at all. I think there may be some of that in just the main missions. Because what it sounds like, again, Chandler's own words, you can go up to an NPC and you can be mean to them or good to them. And this is the example I used. And then you could go up to another NPC and do the same thing, and they wouldn't know that you did it to the other person. They're completely separate. And now just take that logic and apply it to the side quests. and potentially the main quests. It'll be interesting to see, because like the whole point is like being the Witcher wizard that you want to be, right? As you keep going in these missions. But at the same time, I feel like it really could be like a Life is Strange thing where just every decision is on its own, and then you do the decision at the end, and the decision on the end has nothing to do with any of the other stuff. It's got nothing to do with the decisions that you made before it. So I don't really know. I think that's how it's going to work. I don't know if that's what people also think. In terms of if I like it or not, I don't hate it, but I don't think I necessarily like it. I get what people are saying in the whole, like, with like Harry Potter, you can make, like Harry Potter, the character, like he can make a good choice and then a bad choice, and but like you're growing and evolving. Here's my thing though, like yes, major big decisions can swing something one way or the other, but like I don't know, you think of like real life. If you're good, you generally do more good things, and then like, you just kind of like ride that wave. Or if you're a bad person, you do generally bad things, you kind of ride that wave. If the game never knows that you're kind of stacking, then it doesn't really matter that you're stacking. Does that make sense? So like if you're routinely bad, even if you then do a good thing, there should still kind of be like a thing in the air that like, oh, this person's routinely bad. He's like a bad and again, I'll bring up Mass Effect. When you're evil, when you're glowing red, you can still do good things here and there. Sometimes they'll lock you off, though, if you get too evil, right? And maybe people are saying they don't want that. That's fine. But, if you're so evil and you do a good thing, you're still evil. People will still have reactions to you. You'll still be glowing red. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you've put that like energy into the world. You've done more bad things than good things. So there's like a stacking approach. So that's where I come from, that I don't like that that's not in the game. I get basically having a clean slate and being like, well, for this decision I want to be good, but then for this decision I want to be bad. I get you could want to do that and kind of go back and forth, but I just feel like if you do routinely good things, you do routinely bad things, that energy should be out there, that people view you like that. And I firmly believe that will not happen in this game, because that's what Chandler said. So yeah. Yep. No, he's been doing it for almost a week. Well, I'm sorry. Catch 22 peep life of game in life. What? Catch 22. Yeah. Do you think Switch will still be cloud version? Yeah, so the specs of Hogwarts Legacy is also interesting because they're not very high. You don't really need the strongest technology on your PC to play the game. My PC is very much overqualified, for Hogwarts Legacy. With that being said, though, there's a lot of upscaling that you can do with the game and stuff. So the better your console, or the higher console. I mean, the PS5 can only go so far. The higher your PC is, or the better it is, you'll be able to do more things with the game. But even like the recommended, like what they would recommend to experience a solid experience is not that high. With that being said, I still think the game is going to be so big that it would literally melt the Nintendo Switch if it didn't have it on the cloud. So I'm still going to assume it's on the cloud. Do I think Quidditch will be in the game? I think it'll be in the game, but you will not play it. I think you will, see it happening. I have no idea which comments Alex is reading. Well, I'm skipping a lot of the live stream guy one, the Z-Works, because I already got there. Did he stop? Did he actually stop, or was it a fraud? He's still going, so it's a lie. I'm just kidding. Did they answer? Where's my comment? Oh, God. I'm reading the comments of his thing. I don't even see my comment. Also, playing Marvel's Avengers, that's quite the choice. I wouldn't play Marvel's Avengers for a week if I was paid for it. And sometimes I would be. Paid, as in, viewership. Xbox does have the mount. Yes. What's good? Hello. I did watch A Samaritan, a superheroes movie that is on Amazon Prime. Nice. I did watch Prey. Let's go. How does YouTube convince their wife? How does someone convince their wife YouTube is a thing worth doing? Well, it takes a lot of work. um. Okay, a lot of comments there. Which game going to be better, Gotham Knights story or Hogwarts? Story-wise, it's definitely more left open in the air, but I still think Hogwarts, to be honest. Dylan, what's up? 2023 also has God of War. No, that's this year. Y'all ain't competing with Bethesda. Well, I'm not getting into... Well, I did mention Starfield, so it's not like I forgot about it. Not having a morality system doesn't imply decisions and dialogue and narrative quests won't be tracked. In my opinion, look at the Dragon Age series, The Witcher 3, Deus Ex, Detroit Become Human, etc. Fair. Detroit is definitely the odd one out. I don't know why people... I'm not singling... Because I've seen other people like mention Detroit. I think Detroit's different than all of the others. So I don't think Detroit should be talked about in the same realm as them. But... that's fair. It's a fair point. It doesn't have to be the way I'm saying it. It's just the way I read it. And it's the way I think it's going to go. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't, that's fine. I don't think any game competes with God of War at Game of the Year. Well, God of War is this year, guys. So God of War is this year's Game of the Year then. You have to worry about Elden Ring then. You know what I mean? Jedi Survivor is also next year, and Suicide Squad. Yep. Suicide Squad's a big one. I don't think that'll make like a push for Game of the Year, although it could. Jedi Survivor absolutely could be a Game of the Year. Wolf Among Us 2 could be. I mean, like it could. It may be my Game of the Year. There's some good games. Let's see. I wouldn't care if they liked me as long as I got my point across. Yeah. Why wouldn't anyone like you? Well, when you say here's why I think people don't generally like me. I think I've said this before. This is my opinion or my theory on it. Because I make so many videos. I make more videos than like an average channel. I think what happens is I talk so much and I cover so many different things in general that ultimately I'm going to upset or I'm going to conflict with somebody else at some point in my time here. You know what I mean? Whether it's Scream or Hogwarts or Gotham Knights or whatever, I just feel like because I make so many videos, at some point in my life, I'm going to say something that you don't agree with. And I feel like that doesn't happen with other people as frequently because they don't make as many videos or they don't talk about as many things, whereas I do. So that's why I personally think I get, that kind of stuff. Let's see. 2024 is going to be fire. GTA 6. Yeah, GTA 6 will be huge. Will you do a Let's Play? I feel like you do great play. I've always thought about Let's Plays. I've always thought about them. I really don't know. Talking about Game of the Year, and of course it'd be better subject before the Game Awards, obviously, but do you think God of War or Elden Ring will get it? I think it's going to be very hard to beat Elden Ring just because, right? Elden Ring is like the biggest thing on planet Earth. So yeah. Xbox just has to do it in case it's going to be a Game Pass game. Chandler literally said morality is not tracked. I went on a rant about The Last of Us. What house will you pick? Gryffindor. Gryffindor is going to be my house. What do you think will be shown on September? All right, I hope we can track down the Deathly Hallows. That'd be freaking sweet. Not the final part of Kingdom Hearts. The final part of Dark Road, which is the mobile thing. What do you think will be shown on September 1st? Either the making of the art book for Hogwarts Legacy, or I like the idea of showing that final student that people have come up with. I like that idea. Just realized you won't get affected by PS price increases when you bought it from scalpers. Modern problems require modern solutions. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the scalpers, like, they're going to have to sell it for what they normally feel like they want to sell it for, and that's it. Exactly, no morality system in the game like this really ruins the RPG element. Again, but it's fair. It's fair to bring up Dragon Age and, like, Witcher and stuff like that. Witcher doesn't have so much on morality, though. Witcher isn't necessarily about being all the way good or bad. It's more about just making decisions at certain times. Dragon Age is a little bit more about being moral, in which the way you choose. Again, I don't like to bring Detroit Become Human in any Quantic Dream game is just like a flex that David Cage does on one decision having a butterfly effect on like 500 other decisions. It's just but by the way, I love Detroit Become Human. I really like Heavy Rain, like all that stuff. I know David Cage is not liked. I understand that, but I do like Quantic Dream and I do like those games. But they are kind of like just like a flex of like, how can we make one decision turn out like 400 ways? I would not ever compare Detroit to Hogwarts or Detroit to The Witcher or Detroit to literally anything. I'd only compare it to, I guess, episodic games, like decision-based game, like, and that kind of stuff, and other Quantic Dream games. That's what I would do it to. The morality is kind of like Skyrim. You have consequences, but one choice doesn't affect another quest. Yeah, see, that's fair. Again, I'm not saying it's never worked. Game might be like Red Dead Redemption 2. Yep, that's another one. I don't understand the liquid luck thing. Like, you get XP faster, okay, but you get spells by going to classes and yeah. The liquid luck thing is weird because, well, number one, it does suck that, like, if liquid luck is literally, like, PlayStation exclusive, then, like, that's kind of lame. Depends, I guess, on what it does. I know I saw some people say, like, maybe it would increase your attack or increase, like, your aim or something, but, like, you'd imagine, like, there is no aim. Like, you just aim at an enemy and you shoot and you hit them. So it can't affect aim. How would it affect luck? Maybe, yeah, like you get better XP. Maybe you drink it and you have odds of getting better loot in the chests, but then you're really up against the line, right? Because because we know you can go into chests and like collect things. If it becomes literally like a looter kind of thing in that way, and then you can I'm not saying it is, but if you could do that, and then you could basically put a potion on it, that's, that to increase your odds, that's not a good look. So, yeah. It'll be interesting. Maybe like Infamous Second Son, the good thing's been locked because you're a bad person. Yeah, I always forget Infamous. Infamous and Mass Effect are not as far as I like to put them in my mind. But Infamous is a good example of when I bring up Mass Effect, it's just because it's like one of the bigger ones. It's a franchise I love to death, and I've played it recently. Infamous I love probably just as much as Mass Effect. No, probably a little less. Mass Effect is very special to me, but Infamous is right up there. But Infamous I haven't played in so long that I kind of forget about it, you know what I mean? When I'm coming up with quick, because I don't script a lot of the videos. So when I'm thinking of how do I compare Hogwarts Legacy, I don't necessarily always think of Infamous. So, but Infamous is a good comparison to a lot of the stuff I've always brought up about Hogwarts. Infamous is a good one. Thank you so much, Alex, once again. You're welcome. Thank you for setting up a live stream, and I'm sorry I kept it going for a week. I hope that person is subscribed to me, though. I'm going to play it on my Stream Deck instead of my Switch. Nice. You got to play it on the Stream Deck. I want them to refer to me as he who must not be named. You got to. I think for Hogwarts Legacy, people are conflating tracking morality and tracking decisions. Mass Effect and Infamous track morality explicitly, while Dragon Age and Witcher track decisions. Okay, that's fair. I would accept. That's a good workaround. That's fair. I might play Gotham Knights on Steam Deck. Sweet. Check out my first video / short. I pre-ordered my digital deluxe on PlayStation app fast and easy. Nice. Dude, it's because you speak the truth, that's why. Well, thank you. What's good, Alex? Oh, what's up? What's up? What do you think will be shown September 1st? I think you were already here when I said it. So the collectors, not collectors, making of book or friend, the Ravenclaw friend. I hope we get a mission in the mountains surrounding Hogwarts. That'd be pretty fun. Talbot, what's up? I want 16 minutes of gameplay one day of a mission. So like Gotham Knights. You want an IGN first on Hogwarts? That'd be fun. Do you think Ravenclaws will have to answer riddles to enter their common room or not that in depth? Man, I would like that a lot. I'd like that a lot, but okay, I'd like it. I don't think you'll do it. Right? I just think that's too... Would they really do that for one house versus the... You know what I mean? And what if you don't get the riddle right? you can't enter your common room. It's a real good idea, and obviously the lore element of it is sweet, but I don't know if they would do it. The exclusives are BS. And like I said in that video, which, again, some people got a little confused of, but I think it's fair. I think I said, like, I don't care when I was talking about exclusives. I was saying, like, I don't care. What I meant was I don't care to get into the discussion of... Because... What I'm mad about and what I was upset about with Hogwarts Legacy and what I would truly like jab them at, which is why they had to apologize, not to me, but in general, is springing that stuff on us that day is unacceptable in my mind. It doesn't matter if you like the fact that PlayStation has exclusives or you hate it. Now, you can get into that conversation of pre-order bonuses being locked behind consoles, which I'm not a fan of. You can get into that conversation, but I was simply saying, if anybody was confused, I was simply saying it doesn't even matter about that if you want to get into that kind of fight of, well, should a console pay to get a pre-order bonus? I'm simply saying springing that on us the day of is awful. You should have done it like a few days before or the day before, and then at least people would be prepared. And they didn't do that. So, yes. I'm curious to see how big the Hogwarts Legacy map really is. Yeah. The day we see the map of Hogwarts is a special day. The liquid luck, I'm thinking, makes you invulnerable for a while and makes enemies weaker. Ooh. That could be as simple as that. Tasks easier and easier to find things. See, that's going further. I don't know how far they would take it. But definitely that first part, I think, could definitely make sense. A choice I'd like is when my friend offers me a butterbeer, I can accept it or smack it out of his hand. That's funny. Why would you smack it out? When I first went, did you know, I'm going to expose myself. Did you know that for some reason I thought butterbeer was like alcoholic the first time I went to Universal? And so I never actually have had a butterbeer. Second time, I think I just didn't want one. But I've heard that they're actually good. But I've never had one. They changed a lot in Hogwarts Legacy since the original trailer. I haven't seen anyone mention that we haven't seen that original masked antagonist. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily changed. Well, it is, right? I'm agreeing with you. I don't think it's necessarily changing as it is hiding. I think that they're hiding that person. Like it was almost a tease, and then they're not going to say anything until the game is out. That's what I personally think. Oh my God, Alex finally caught up. Yeah, well, that's what happens when I skip. I can jump around. I'm not as engaged. I gotta like run through like a news segment. I gotta be a little bit more flashy. But like I said, these quick tangent for these live streams, like I really do just enjoy, and I hope you guys do too. You can ask anything. You can ask, personal stuff, I guess, is not necessarily the first thing that would come to mind, but we can talk about any game or movie or whatever in these live streams. And then, when I do the watch party with like a Gamescom or the Game Awards, those are very different. But I just like these kind of hangout. I get quizzed. People ask me different questions on different games. It's a lot of Hogwarts stuff, which is fine. But, when Gotham Knights gets closer, when God of War Ragnarok gets closer, like I like to just have these kind of sit down, hangout streams. I don't think a lot of people do this stuff, so I just like to do it. They're not very they're not very flashy, but at least everybody gets their comment read. You don't have to super chat me, well, like you would have to do other people. Game of Thrones RPG one day, please. Yes, I agree with that. I agree. If PlayStation has a mission that we can't open on other platforms, F Sony. Well, here's the thing, too. I mean, if you want to go into that argument, I'm not single. Like, if you want to talk about that, who do you blame? I'm asking you guys this. Who would you blame for the exclusivity? Because Sony is the cause of it, but But WB now, and I don't think Avalanche would have almost anything to do with it. It's Sony and it's WB Games, in my opinion. So do you blame Sony for offering an exclusive kind of contract, or do you blame the people that signed the offer? Because Sony could have went to them and said, we want an exclusive mission. And they could have said, no, we're not into doing that, so we're not going to do it. So who's to blame? The person that asked or the person that accepted? And again, I don't think the person who accepted is Avalanche. I think it's their bosses that then go to Avalanche and say, okay, we worked on a deal with Sony. You're going to have a quest that's exclusive to them. And Avalanche says, all right, we'll do it. You know what I mean? So, and that's like I'm serious. I thought about that a couple days ago when this all happened. I was thinking, do we blame Sony or do we blame, you know what I mean? Because they're taking a chance. You don't have to accept the offer. It's a smart business decision from Sony. You know what I mean? It's also, and I get it. I get why you would do something like that. There's definitely more of a reason to get this game on PlayStation than Xbox. There is, or anywhere, because of you get more stuff. And for people that want the full Hogwarts Legacy experience, you get the full experience on PlayStation, right? Again, it's a scummy kind of practice that I thought we were done. Like, this kind of stuff happened 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. I thought we were done with this stuff. I guess we're not. So, and look, just like that, I fell behind in comments again. I think the game will have so much replayability with different companion quest lines. I assume you have to be in Slytherin to get the Sebastian quest line. I feel like you don't. But I do agree with the replayability. Do you think Hogwarts was originally going to release on December 6th? I do. I do. Is December 6th? Well, hold on. No. I think Hogwarts would have released the 9th. And then the early access people would have got it the 6th. That's what I think. That's when I think the game was going to come out. And I think they moved it right around 2 months. That's what I think. I just wanted to let you know that I love you, man. Your voice is so calming and I can listen to you for hours. Well, thank you. People, I think I said this last week. I'm just repeating myself at this point. When people say like my voice is calming or they like listening to me, number one, I'm very grateful about that, and I wouldn't be on YouTube if people didn't listen to my voice. So there's a sense of like obviousness, but a huge sense of like, well, truly thank you. Secondly, I almost don't believe it because I have such a nasally Billy Corgan-esque voice, which I like, or I like him. I just don't know why people would like so it's, but I appreciate it. Because normally I get, the negative comments every so often that tell me how nasally my voice is. So I can't imagine people liking it. But butterbeer's cream soda. Yeah, it's just soda. It's not. Pause on you exposing yourself. Like my bare chest or something? Well, I think for PC we can live with them considering the game is 80 gigabytes. Or live without them. Yeah. I canceled my Xbox pre-order when they talked about Felix because PS exclusive. I hate gameplay elements being console. Yeah, so that's the argument. I don't disagree with that with that line of thinking. We are going to be fighting Salazar Slytherin. In the end, his minions are trying to resurrect him. That is what it sounds. Well, that's definitely his quest line, right? That's definitely Sebastian's quest line. So will it happen at the end of his quest line? I don't think that's and I don't know if you mean that. I don't know if it's the end of the game. I don't think it'll be the end of the game's quest. I think it'll be the end of Sebastian's quest. So that should be fun. But I kind of get the same sense. I'm excited to see your videos on how good the water looks in Hogwarts. Yes. Could we see the book accurate giant squid? Oh my god, right? If they did that, I don't rate sea creatures. I know that's probably shocking because I should. But I do rate the water, and, I give the water a solid 8. Here's the funny thing. I started off doing it almost as a joke, but now truly I want to do it. So any game that has water as a semi-main component, I want to rate it. The also other ironically funny thing is I don't rate games. I don't give scores to games. So when I'm actually reviewing Destroy All Humans for tomorrow, I don't give it a score. I'm not going to give Hogwarts Legacy a score. I don't do it. I think scores are stupid. That's my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. But again, the kind of it's almost because I'm like hypocritical. I'm a hypocrite, so I kind of lean into it, right? I will rate the water, but I will not rate the game. I'll only rate the water on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being Horizon Forbidden West, and like Uncharted 4. And then 0 being what's like the worst water I've ever seen. Oh God, there's some bad ones. I can tell you, Destroy All Humans 2's water is not that great. I'll be honest about that. I'd give it a 3. Do you think we could? Do you think we can be a Dark Wizard in Hogwarts Legacy? Yes. Blaming Sony is dumb. I'm not saying you have to blame Sony. I'm just saying, should you? I hope that exclusive mission is a lesser mission, like trying to find a missing creature in the forest. Yeah, I don't think it'll be like an hour and a half, 2 hour long mission. You know, like it'll be. I agree with you. It'll be short. 56 days for Gotham Knights. Nice. Yeah, man, we are getting close. We're getting really. I'm really excited. I know we're talking about a lot of Hogwarts Legacy. I'm excited for Gotham Knights. The shows, these programs, these live streams, probably will get more Gotham Knights oriented as we get closer to October. And then as we get into November, it'll be God of War heavy, very God of War heavy. And then it'll go, wherever it goes. But yeah, I'm pumped. I really, it's time. I think, I don't remember if the video is out yet. I don't think it actually is. My opinion on Gotham Knights is like, I just want it. Like, it's been so long. It's been such a saga or an era that we've like been participating in. Just give me the game. Like, let's just do this. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's great, it's great. But just give me the game and let's freaking go. Just like Hogwarts, really, same thing. I know the opinions on it, I think, are a lot higher than the split kind of reaction on Gotham Knights, but it's like we've, the rumors of Arkham Legacy and all that stuff, or even Hogwarts Legacy with the Harry Potter RPG, like we've been talking about it for years, or at least I have, before the game even was announced. Then the game was announced. Then we had so much, a long period of silence, right? The era of darkness, Kingdom Hearts related. And now we're here. So, So it's been so long. It's like, let's just do it. Let's just play these games and let's see how they are. And so we can move on to whatever's next, which depends on the game. Sony technically had the game completely exclusive to PS5. Warner Bros. Definitely to blame. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think they have the marketing rights to Hogwarts Legacy. I don't think the game started, say, as a PS5 exclusive and then they kind of let it go. I think, and that's how it works. Like, a game is, these companies know games are real before, before we do. And then you have these companies that sign deals, whether it's, hey, you can't put this on a subscription service for this long, or hey, we're doing the marketing rights. Call of Duty, we're going to do the marketing rights, or Microsoft has done it for games as well. You just sign deals. There's so many deals that are going on, you know what I mean? And that's simply what happened. At some point, they learned about Hogwarts Legacy. They had meetings. They decided to approach them with a contract of marketing exclusivity, just like you could do for Sonic or The Devil in Me or Gotham Knights, or keep going. You know what I mean? Just go through a Plague Tale, which is more Xbox oriented. You know what I mean? Like, you just go through any game and then you go from there. That's how it works. I'm sure the exclusive quest will be something small. Agreed. Have you seen The House of the Dragon? Not yet. Not yet, but I've seen good things about it, and my friend watched it, actually, and he really liked it. So, WB execs are to blame for exclusivity. Of course, Sony wants the exclusive, but WB put money over players. That's fair. Isn't Amazon getting Hogwarts Legacy exclusives? Yes. The hat, right? The hat. So there's something that was going on there too. I can't be mad at Sony. Sony gave, Well, Sony can give us great things, but still make mistakes. Thanks for reading all the comments. Of course. Man, I found your channel yesterday and loved it. So you think Batman is alive and will fight him because of the Court of Owls? Well, thank you. Firstly, thank you. Secondly, if you go back, I have a playlist, so it's easier than you would think. If you go to the Gotham Knights playlist, you can go back to, I believe, DC Fandom Day 2020. And the first video I made, I said, I think Batman's alive. The very first day. Maybe it was the day after. But it was like right after DC Fandom. I've stuck with that for 2 years. I literally said that 2 years and 4 days ago. And I'm sticking with it. That Batman is not dead. So, and And then will you fight him? Yeah, if he's a Talon, I think you'll fight him. Yeah. The fact that we still have no idea what the main quest line is, I know, right? It's they've done a good job hiding things as much as they've given us stuff. They've clearly been hiding stuff on purpose. You know what I mean? What did they mean by optional quest lines? Just that you don't have to do them. Like, they'll be available in the open world. You'll probably see like a logo for Sebastian to do the quest. Or you could accept the quest and it'll be added to your quest list. And then you just don't have to track it. You don't have to go to it and do it. It can just be there and you don't have to do anything about it. That's all it means. Which most games that are open world have, activities, or they're called events or side missions, or, whatever they're called. And side. I think some games are just literally called side. And you could choose to do it or not do it. Did you do Sea of Thieves? I did play Sea of Thieves. I'm not a bit, the water. Do you mean the water of Sea of Thieves, or you mean Sea of Thieves in general? Sea of Thieves I've never really been able to get behind. I'm not into the cartooniness of it, but I think it's a great idea. Obviously, it's very successful. I have nothing against the game at all. Also, I played A Pirate's Life, so I put in quite a while in that game, and I enjoyed it to an extent. But if you're asking me about the water of Sea of Thieves, the water is good, but again, the cartooniness, I'm not a fan of the cartooniness. So it's just me. It's just What did I give? I gave Hogwarts an 8. I'd have to give Sea of Thieves close to an 8 too, then, just because it's a different kind of water. 7 or 8 is what I would give Sea of Thieves as water. Honestly, I want a game that crosses that uncanny valley. I want it to look as real as possible. Yeah? Oh, thanks, Riley. Appreciate it, man. Do you think creatures like the Niffler will be usable or just collectible? No, I think they'll be usable, because I think you can use them in combat. The question will be, how many do they let you use in combat, right? Do they let you use like 5? Do they let you use 2? I think you'll be able to use them though, for sure. And just like you'll be able to use potions, Fantastic Beasts, charm, etc. I think you'll be able to do it. All right, I'm gonna try to rifle through these last ones, and we'll head off in a couple minutes here. There is a butter beer, if that makes sense. Yes. See, I assume there has to be, right? Merlin is cool, and if you're an Expecto Go fan, Merlin's got to be in this game. Which again, I said I'm warming up to that idea. Sorry for all the Hogwarts Legacy. No, that's okay. Yeah, I get it. There's nothing really to talk about right now. Next week is The Last of Us. That should be a story to talk about. 2 weeks is the Marvel Disney Showcase, which I will be co-streaming. That's going to be a lot of fun. There will be things to talk about as the months go on. Right now, it's more dead. Destroy All Humans is like the big game coming out, so there's not too much to talk about. I get it. Just so you guys know, of course, as we get closer, the things I focus on more often change depending on what it is, and you don't always get that. If a channel just covers Hogwarts Legacy, you can expect them to always cover Hogwarts Legacy. But for me, it's ebbs and flows. Like for God of War time, my channel is going to be a lot of God of War stuff and others, but it's God of War. Gotham Knights, Scream, the movie Scream. So that's just how I do it. And that's not for everybody, and people unsubscribe during those times, and I understand that. I get it, but I'm not going to change it, because I'm just not. Darkness within darkness. I hope we can see more of what the common rooms look like. Yeah, I think I'm okay with what they've shown, right? Like, if this is it until the game comes out, I'd be fine. I heard that the exclusive mission has something to do with a haunted shop in Hogsmeade. Apparently, that's listed on some German store page. Oh, my God. That's freaking sweet, if that's true. Not that it's an exclusive, but that it's a haunted. That's sweet. Thanks, Deacon. I didn't see that. I appreciate that, though. I think I know how to destroy Horcruxes in the game Killing Curse. What's your favorite common room? Well, I've always been a fan of Gryffindor, so I think I'd have to go with that. I'm currently rereading the books, and I'm on book 6. I'm reading them again because I want to see I really should read the books again, to be honest with you. So Germany and France, Amazon will be exclusive stuff as well for Hogwarts. Yeah. If Germany and France on Amazon gets an exclusive mission that nobody else gets, that's weird. That's weird. In wake of the Hogwarts Legacy PR debacle, what do you think is the worst gaming PR nightmare in recent times? Cyberpunk's release. Cyberpunk's release. Saints Row's developers when they attacked fans a few months ago that weren't happy with the game direction. That was bad. But in terms of like everybody knows about it, probably Cyberpunk, right? Or yeah, in terms of like have you made one PR nightmare was it an EA employee when they were talking about like you're a 10 but you only play single player games or something like that. Like that was a bad tweet. People make mistakes, but that was a very bad tweet. You know what I mean? So I don't think Hogwarts is like at the top by any means. I think they've had very poor communication, but it's also, and you got to remember this, and I know I didn't even say it, but it's the first time they've done a game this big. This is easily, without a doubt, Avalanche's biggest pre-order rollout of any game they've ever done by miles. So is it understandable that mistakes were made? Yes. Does that mean we, like just give them freeway and we say, oh, it's no big deal, it's fine? No, I mean, you can still call them out, but just so everybody, kind of remembers, it's a big thing. It'd be like an indie dev making a gigantic game. Like that jump is, it's huge, and you got to expect there's going to be some pains there. I'm buying Hogwarts 3 times now. Collector's edition from Amazon. Oh my God. Well, it's your money. My quote has always been, it's your money. You spend it how you want to. I wonder why they're doing so much marketing for the game, even though it's 5 months away. The back to school. Yeah, it is odd. Yeah, it is odd how they've done it. Witcher 3 had a whole line of side missions, which was insane. Indeed. Let's talk about Gotham Knights a little. Do you think we'll see more from IGN? Or I think we'll get one more on Tuesday. For IGN first. I hope we explore more lore about Hogwarts, like nods or to previous Tri-Wizard tournaments instead of other games. Agreed. Have a good night. Thanks, Riley. Thanks, buddy, for being here. What do you think of Final Fantasy VII? That's what that is? I've never played the first Final Fantasy set, or like the original Final Fantasy VII, but I did play the remake, and I loved it. I'm firmly in the camp of loving the remake of Final Fantasy VII. I know not everybody was into it, but I did. You're welcome, Forrest. All right. Later. How many times will you guys be beating the game? 4 times. 1 is each house. That's my plan. 4 times. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Make sure you keep up with the other stuff that I'm doing. Subscribe to my second channel. I've been doing a new kind of video. The way I do videos on that channel is different this week than any other week. Give it a watch. See if you like it. Podcast Now Plus. Plus is in the word, not the symbol. Podcast Now Plus, of course, Twitter. Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Yeah, some very fun. I don't want to tease, but I got some very fun videos on the weekend. And I got a very special Hogwarts Legacy announcement Monday or Tuesday. That's going to be, people are going to want to see it. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on. And then Destroy All Humans, Last of Us, and all that. So we should be back for a live stream next Friday, same time, same place. And then we'll go from there, all right? Thank you all so much for all the questions and comments and super chats and likes. Have an awesome weekend, and make sure to check the 4 videos I have going up over the weekend. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one.